I think it's cooked for Justin because what can he prove that he hasn't done already? Like I don't think that there's anything that he can prove that they don't think that they haven't seen. I think that Ryan Poles from the day he got hired didn't think Justin was that guy, but just decided to give him a chance with newer weapons to see if that was the case. And also, I don't think he was that high on Bryce Young either. I think that had a lot to do with it. I think if Caleb was available last year,
they would have took him. They would have taken him.
Yeah, they got rid of him.
Think about how they speak about Justin Fields. They talk about everybody. Like when it comes to talking about their players, they'll speak glowingly on Darnell Mooney, on Cole Kmet, on all these other people. When it comes to Justin Fields, it's just very clear cut and dry. He needs yeah. He needs to take care of the ball. He needs to play better from the pocket. He needs to cut down on sacks. Like they don't speak, and they haven't since day one. They haven't, and that leads you to believe. Now it could be them playing possum, or that leads you to believe they just don't fuck with them, and they're waiting for their out to go ahead and move on.
Yeah, and also one last thing. I'm sorry, my bad, Dante. I feel like it's just it's a wrap, unfortunately, and also from a football perspective, I haven't seen consistency from Justin the whole 3 years he's been here, and I have no reason to believe it's going to change over the next 7.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we say that, but here's my question: did the coaching staff change? No. Did the offensive coordinator change? No. So a major part of the inconsistency we've seen with Justin is we don't know what game plan we're gonna get from week to week. We saw 2 weeks straight, and don't get me wrong, you have to adjust with every defense you face, but at the same time, we saw 2 weeks in a row where he threw for 8 total touchdowns. He was really moving the ball, really moving the pocket. You saw him in the pistol most of the game, and then you go into that game against Minnesota, and like we said, you just make him a sitting duck against a team that is blitzing the majority of the game.
Now, do you think is that by design? That would lead us to be like wait, like you saw what he's doing. Like, is that not your guy? And you know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, he's doing looking too good.
But no, that's why. Like, I agree when I say I think Justin is cooked because they flat out don't want to coach him. Like you've seen them even last year. It was no coincidence, bro. We all watched them games, and it's one thing the box score watch. When you watch every game, watch every snap of the game, you would see them for 3 quarters, show you what this dude could do, and then in the 4th quarter, they start calling some bullshit. I was at that Atlanta game. There is no way they should have lost that fucking game, bro. Like it was no way in hell they should have lost that fucking.
You talking about the Atlanta game last year? Yeah, we watched that.
That's when he hurt his shoulder. Yeah,
bro. When I tell you that the drive he had where they could have won that game, he was coming towards us, and I'm watching the play calls, and I'm like, oh, they don't want to win this. Like they're bullshitting. Like they're flat out bullshitting. So when you see that on a weekly basis, bro has been set up to fail. And so as much as I think like he legit has to play out of his mind and force their hand. That's the only way he keeps his job. If he legit goes ape shit for 7 weeks straight, not he wins 4 games. He has to legit damn near go 6-1, 7-0 for him to keep his job. As crazy as that sounds, he has to go nuts. So for me, he's done, bro. It's just a wrap.
And this is my thing though. Going forward, out of the last 7 games, Justin Fields is the better quarterback in 4 of those 7 games. He's going to be the better quarterback against the Browns. He's going to be the better quarterback against the Falcons. He's going to be the better quarterback against the Vikings. He's going to be the better quarterback on the last week against the Packers. The only game he's not going to be the better quarterback in is the 2 with the Lions and Kyler Murray. He needs to play like the better quarterback. When we pick games, when we look at these games and we sit here and we talk, sneaky good. What is the one denominator, common denominator? We like going with the team that has the better quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That the more consistent play. It's time for him to do that. It's kind of fucked up though, like we said. Like Yurko had brought up something on Twitter, and I had sent y'all the video. What are y'all expectations for him? Something like 16 passing touchdowns. 16 touchdowns. It's like 1,500 yards or something like that. And less than 5 picks, less than 2 picks, and to win about 4 games. If they win 7 games, and he's the reason because of, like, there's some people out there, there's some Bears beat writers, I won't say names, that have unrealistic expectations. He needs to lead a game-winning drive, 99 yards. He need all right, come on now.
Mad, nigga.
Right, like come on now, But I do agree. he needs to play clean, because the one thing that Tyson Bagent did outside of, he did have his turnovers, but in the 2 games that they won, we had 0 turnovers, 0 sacks. And, you play clean football. We're not the most talented team. So you can't play shithead football. You got to be clean. You got to be disciplined. And Justin hasn't shown the consistency to do that. So if he goes back out there and reverts to what we saw against the Bucks, what we saw the second half against the Broncos, then it's 100%. It's lights out for him.
All game against the Packers.
He can't have one bad game, basically, and it's unfair. It's unfair, but that's where it's at.
But like at the same time, I hear you. Hold on, before you go, Scott. I hear you. I hear you, but at the same time, Tyson Bagent beat the fucking Panthers. Like,
and the Raiders.
Beat the fucking Raiders. Like, these were shit teams that he beat. So that's why, like, as much as I don't want to sound like a Justin apologist, because he does have his flaws. He has, albeit we don't have the backstory as to why his flaws have been exposed and why they continue to be what they are. But at the same time, it's like when you look at the entire picture, it's like, how does he win in this situation? Like, like you say, he damn near has to be perfect for 7 games. Like, he has to go ape shit. Yeah, they might go 6-1, and then with everything we've seen, as much as I root for that, I don't want that, because if they go 6-1, we're gonna have the exact same coaching staff next year. What the fuck is gonna change?
But but that's my thing. If you go 6-1, or if say you finish the season with 7 wins, 7 wins, you win 4 more, 3 more, 6 wins, that is still a 3-win improvement. It's an improvement. It's an improvement, and you're like, okay, cool, And it's I think it's gonna just be very hard for them if they end up with pick 1.1 and not take a quarterback, because you passed on some quarterbacks last year. Cool, you might have not evaluated them, but hey, we'll see down the road what CJ Stroud looking like. He's looking like a guy. If you continue to now in this year where they're saying there's some guys, and you pass on that, that's career killing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I'll say this. Now, I'll say this. I think both of y'all bring up great points. I had an argument, not an argument. It wasn't an argument. It's one of my guys on Twitter. We had a spirited debate on Twitter, and I think Mikey was a part of that too. We was talking about how it's not fair. Who are these guys to evaluate them? We know they're bad at their jobs, but this is, in the words of Avon Barksdale, the game is the game. This is their job. Whether they're good at it or not, their job is to evaluate the talent. And that's exactly what it is. So we can sit up here and say, who the fuck is Flus to say what he wants from Justin? Well, he's a fucking head coach, nigga. That's his fucking job. That's what he gets paid millions of fucking dollars to evaluate the position. So I have no problem with Flus saying what he wants from Justin. We got mad at Lou Getz even saying the most important thing for a quarterback is to not fumble the football, to keep not turn the ball over. He's not lying. Is he a terrible fucking play caller? 100%. Does he like pigeonhole Justin Lott? 100%, but he's not wrong about the evaluation. And I think sometimes we have to separate the player from our fandom. I love Justin Fields, bro. I fuck with him as a player. I've been a fan of his since I saw him on QB1. I remember watching him in those championship games against Clemson, winning. I think it was a Sugar Bowl his last year. You correct me if I got the wrong bowl, but I think it was a Sugar Bowl. And I remember that deep pass he threw to Chris Olave, and I was like, man, I love him to be my quarterback. He's my quarterback a couple months later. But the proof is in the pudding, bro. He has not been consistent. And like you said, Dante, he would have to just do some ridiculous shit over these next 7 games. Yeah, he has to win games. But honestly, I believe he got to take one from Detroit. Like, it can't just be like against the bad teams. Like, you got to take one from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? You beat the Vikings on Monday Night Football as good as they're playing. You know what I'm saying? You knock off a Kyler Murray. You finally beat the fucking Packers. That, to me, he has to look at it. And it's not about the running. We can talk about combined touchdowns. That's not what anybody's looking at. And the only way he even has a chance, he's got to throw at least 2 passing touchdowns a week. And the games they win has got to be because of him. He can't turn the ball over. He can't be holding that bitch. There's no room to be fucking up here. And I just, as much as I love Justin, as much as I'm not a fan of the front office or the coaching staff, I just don't see it happening. I would love to be wrong. And even let's just say Justin flames out in the next stage, which I expect him to do, I still think this is going to go up to the last minute. I still think that they're going to gauge to see if they get a Godfather deal. Because Caleb Williams, no matter how people who actually watch USC, because we actually watch USC. You shouldn't be saying that generational bullshit. So if you actually watch USC, he's not as good as I believe people are making him out to be, but the talent there, and maybe even the talent in a better situation, can be great. So they're gonna the offers they got for the number one pick last year are gonna be play. So even if Justin is ass, I think that decision is going up all the way to the end. Honestly.
And it's not even that. Yeah, and it's not even that. It's also you buying extra years and you're rebuilding, your retool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you get it now. You're getting a quarterback on a rookie scale contract, and we got to go through. And as a fan, it sucks because it's like, well, all right, if he's not like that right away, there aren't many quarterbacks that come in right away and win. I see what CJ Stroud is doing, but that is not the norm. You know what I'm saying? That is the outlier. I don't remember many rookie quarterbacks that come in and win games since you got to go back to Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? As a rookie, and that was led with a team that was ready defense. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a team, man. They went to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. So it's flawed. It's flawed, and it's just flawed logic all around. And they got to make sure they get it right. They have to make sure they get it right. I mean, it might be over for Justin.
That paper on this player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line.